This is my process for using a rinse-free or rinseless wash, and this time we're going to be testing out the new version from Turtlewax. This is probably the first what I would consider over-the-counter, consumer grade, whatever you want to call it, rinseless wash. The reviews are mixed out there, so I'm going to give it a shot. It's the first time I'm using it. You're going to get to see it for the first time with me. So I'll show you my process. So it's saying, it tells you to do 4 ounces for 2 gallons. So I'll probably go ahead and do right out to 2 gallons and 4 ounces, but that seems kind of rich compared to Optimum No Rinse or even some of the other ones that are competitors to this kind of stuff. So we'll go ahead and try the 4 ounces, but I've got a feeling that's going to be a pretty heavy dilution and may not be quite that necessary. So what I usually do is I like to measure it out. I got these little travel sprayer bottles. They're exactly 2 ounces, so 2 of these and 2 gallons of water should do it. And we'll get started. We definitely want to use grit guards. They don't say that in the instructions, but that's always a good idea when you're using a rinseless wash or really any wash. So grab a grit guard, bucket, 2 gallons of water, and it should get us started. And that's 2 ounces. And that's 4. Now, first impressions, this stuff smells identical to Optimum No Rinse. But anybody who's used Optimum No Rinse, you may have even noticed while I was pouring that, it sure seemed a little more runny than this stuff right here. As you can see, I'm kind of running down in my gallon bottle here. I'll probably buy more of this stuff. It's definitely my go-to no rinse. I also like the Duragloss blend. I don't have any of that on hand right now, but it's good stuff too. I can't remember the number, but Duragloss makes a great no rinse solution. But getting back on topic, this stuff smells the same. It's the same color, but it seems thicker. So this, as you can see, let's see here if we can clear this up here. All right, so 1 ounce, 2 gallons. Now that is, that's 25% of what we're using for the Turtlewax version. So I don't know, it could be similar, reverse engineered, dare I say same manufacturer, but watered down. Not sure what the deal is, but it sure smells similar to me. So every time I use a new product like this one, I like to measure everything out pretty accurately according to what the manufacturer specifies. In this case, like I said, 2 gallons of water, 4 ounces of product. And so a couple things to note here. For those of you who are not familiar with rinseless washes, don't expect a sudsy solution. This is not a traditional wash. This is not soap. It's going to be different. It's using, not to get too technical on you, but it's using polymers to encapsulate dirt and emulsify them and pull them away from your paint, and it's safe. That's all you really need to know. But first impressions are, with the proper dilution, it is about the same color, and I know it's just dyes in there, but for all intents and purposes, the dilution ends up being very similar to the other products I've used, including Optimum No Rinse, including the Duragloss, and a lot of other versions that I've tried out. So even though the dilution is a little weird, the 4 ounces to 2 gallons versus the 1 ounce for 2 gallons of Optimum No Rinse, it's about the same color and consistency. Now, in the concentrated version in the bottle, it looked very similar to Optimum No Rinse. Now, diluted, it doesn't. It's got much more of a greenish tint. I suspect that's because this one has a wax included, while the traditional Optimum No Rinse does not have any wax included. So, interesting note. We haven't tried it yet, but we're gonna give it a shot. So we got our grit guard in there. I'm gonna grab some microfiber towels, and we'll take it from there. Okay, so I have 3 towels in there. These are 530 weight and 360 weight towels. I like using the 530. These are the Guru Fiber 530 towels. I like using these for, you know, body panels, more sensitive areas, because they got a little deeper, more plush microfiber ply. And then I'll use these 360s for windows and some of the lower areas. They're cheaper, and you know, they're excellent quality. Both of them have microfiber stitching, microfiber edges, fantastic towels. But you know, I like to use the deeper plush ones for just most of the body panels. And you know, it just depends on what you're doing. If you're doing a car that needs polished anyway, you know, you can get away with cheaper towels. You know, I like to use quality towels. I recommend you use quality towels. You can get these detailinggurus.com or shop.detailingwiki.com. So good towels, highly recommend them. So here's what I do. Some credit goes out to Gary Dean. A little shout out to Gary Dean, who came up with what he calls the Gary Dean wash method. And his methodology, I think it's pretty innovative, but he basically just uses enough water to soak towels, and he'll just stack his bucket full of towels. Great idea. I would say super safe, super conservative. I have found that you don't necessarily need 6, 7 towels like he's using, especially when you're using quality ones like this. Flipping them over and having a grit guard in the bottom, I think, in my opinion, you're safe enough to dip the towel back in as long as you're not using the same side of a soiled surface, you know, for the same pass. And I'll show you that as we go. But I got 3 in here. That should be plenty for that car we're doing right out there. It's a 2011 Hyundai Sonata, and it is filthy. Had a trip out to the beach. Matter of fact, I'll go ahead and show it to you. A lot of people complain when I do car wash videos that the cars are not dirty. Not the case today. So it is exceptionally filthy. Very, very dirty. And by the way, this car needs polished. Been to a dealer. It's got the dealer installed swirls, as you can see. Yep, there they are. So she'll get polished here shortly. But you can see it is very, very dirty. All right. So what we're going to do is start out with those towels, and then what we'll do is we'll dry with a high quality waffle weave microfiber towel. This one has silk lining. It's the best you can get. This is the Guru Fiber waffle weave. It's huge. Should be able to dry your whole car. Piece of cake. Very good stuff. Not going to scratch your paint. All right, so I'm going to drag the bucket out there and we'll get started. All right, so what you want to do is, you know, obviously make sure these are soaked, you know, thoroughly soaked. But then pull them out, and you don't need them to be absolutely pouring, dripping with water. At the same time, I don't like wringing them out. You don't want to wring them out. So what I'll do is just kind of give them a light squeeze like that. That's plenty. That works great if you're in a garage too, because you're not dripping water everywhere. And what we do, very little pressure, is just kind of work it over a panel. Trying to do this all in one hand here, so forgive me if I'm not the best videographer. Alright, so I did half of the roof here. And you can see picking up the dirt right in the towel. And if I flip it over, got a fresh, clean side. So I'm going to just go over that side one more time, just to make sure it's 100% clean. Alright, we should be good. So I'm going to go ahead and put that back in the bucket. And then I'm going to grab, pardon the one-hand operation here, guys. I'm going to grab the waffle weave towel. I usually like to fold it. Let me pause it and get it set up here. Alright, there we go. Alright, so it's hard to give you first impressions. So far, this is the first panel I've ever used with the Turtlewax rinse-free car wash. Um, just first initial impression is very similar to Optimum No Rinse. Um, get away, Mr. Bug here. Come on now, don't make me kill you. Pretty similar stuff. For some reason, in my experience, and leave a comment if you have different experiences, but I've noticed that waffle weaves don't seem to work the best with rinseless washes. Can't tell you why, but that's kind of what I've seen. Curious to hear everybody else's experience on that. But let's just take a closer look here. Of course, the top panel of the roof was not the dirtiest, but definitely leaves some slickness behind. Maybe a slightly bit more slick than Optimum No Rinse. But it's clean. It did a good job cleaning. Obviously, again, that was the less dirty panel. I'll shoot another video when we get down to some of the real grungy stuff down here. And you know, something like this right here, we'll shoot that. Or maybe even our friends up here in the bumper. We'll see how she does on that. Alright, so first impressions is pretty good, but I'm going to reserve full judgment until we're done. Incidentally, this car has opti-coated hood only. Nothing else is opti-coated. Just it's an experiment car, so it'll be interesting to see how it works with the opti-coated surface versus just plain traditionally sealed sealants. So alright, I'll come back on a dirtier panel. Alright, boys and girls, saved the best for last. This is the main event. What can a rinseless wash do with this? Let's have a look. What I like to do first is pre-soak the whole area. One pass. Kind of soften up all the grime. And at this point, the whole car is done except for wheels. That'll be a separate job. But all the body's done, all the glass, door jambs, all that good stuff. We save the good stuff for the last part. So I've kind of gotten everything pre-soaked. Here we got a nice intestinal matter from our bugs. Look at that grossness. Yeah, let's get that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm not really putting any pressure. Just making multiple passes for stuff like that. And oh, it's gone. Well, anyways, getting back to my point. Pre-soak the whole thing. And if you could, leave it for 2-3 minutes. Let it soak up, soften everything up. Then, come back, just like I did that one spot. Multiple passes on the carcasses of our friends. Highway air traffic control. Some of them are stubborn, but you know, this is a soft towel, so we're not really scrubbing. We're just making multiple passes. So I mean, I guess that is a slight abrasion, but it's not very aggressive. We're in the south here, so these are love bugs. These are all the good stuff that's so great for your paint. And that's about all I do. No harsh chemicals sprayed on it. And these were here for a week. We were a week and a half. Because it was at the beach, driving 7 hours. So that's about as bad as it gets, really, in this car anyway. I don't know about what you do for your cars, but that's about as bad as it gets. That's it. I'll chase all the spots down. What I like to do is kind of rub my hand over it. See, I could feel. You can just kind of feel the little spots. So I rub my hand around it, and you'll feel the spots that need some more attention. Just keep rubbing on them. Add more solution, and it will clean right up. there you go. That's pretty clean. No more bugs, no more nastiness. By the way, big difference cleaning an opti-coated surface. Huge difference. That makes all the difference. And yeah, it's a good point to make. No rinse washes definitely work way better on cars that are maintained. In other words, if you've got a trashed out pickup truck with failing clear coat, don't expect this stuff to work. It's really not going to work that well. But if you got a car, case in point, well maintained, opti-coat, polished, you know, very smooth, cleans excellent. Other surfaces, spray sealant, you know, regular washes with opto no rinse and stuff, works decent, but definitely not as good as the surface up there that's maintained very well. But all in all, decent product. Only reason I wouldn't say 5-star, amazing, excellent is because dilution ratio, you know, I don't know. Seems like either I'm missing something or they're kind of cheaping it, cutting it with water or something like that. It seems like a cheap whiskey to me almost. But for over the counter, that's kind of what you expect. I'm trying to figure out what would be the disadvantage of offering to the basic consumer the same dilution ratio as Optimum No Rinse or any other products. And I really can't think off the top of my head why that would be a bad thing. So probably a little ding against the Turtlewax brand of rinseless wash for that reason. But overall, hey, if you're in a pinch, you don't have access to mail-ordered professional products or boutique products, whatever you want to call them, this is a great choice. I would rather use this than a bucket, actually, and a bucket and hose. I'm a big fan of rinseless washes. So, anyways, that was my review. I guess a little review of Turtlewax rinseless wash as well as basic rinseless wash techniques. So, hope you enjoyed. See you next time.